Okay, today is Sunday, July 19th, 2015, and we're looking at the southwest rainbow loop, and we can see some thunderstorm activity moving into Arizona mainly right now. The skies are clouding up again in California, Southern California, so we may see some more rain, and it looks like that may be the case. There's a center of circulation shown on this map here, which apparently is Dolores, so this has come in a day ahead of time. They were forecasting Monday for Dolores arrival, but there is a low pressure shown here moving into the area, so we'll keep an eye on all this. Now today, the barometric pressure has risen for the second day in a row, which is odd. Normally you would expect the barometric pressure to drop when there is a hurricane moving into the area, but that is not the case. And we've seen this before many times, but I just want to document that. Starting on the 17th, the pressure started to rise. So we had 29.98 inches on the 17th. Now we're about at 2,000 feet, so all of the barometric pressure measurements up here are going to be a lot lower than at sea level. So these measurements may seem low, but when you look at them in totality on a day-to-day basis, they do follow a pattern, regardless of the actual absolute value of the number. So today, the last 2 days, the barometric pressure has risen in the area where we are. Yesterday it was 30.04 inches. Today it's 30.06. And there is rain forecast, but they do, the people running the transmitters raise the pressure, and they use the chemical aerosols to prepare the skies so that the rainfall is not as much as it would normally be without all the human intervention. Over here where the mouse is, we see that there is a downburst that has occurred that splits up this thunderstorm right here. Let's go and look at that in the, this is the water vapor mode. This must be a lot of chemtrail activity here, which we can see in another map. In fact, we can see something right over here, big streak. Not sure if that's a chemtrail or not, but we'll take a look on another map later. Okay, so here's the visible light mode for southwest. We see that they've shown a circulating system here. Not sure why it's not showing up on the infrared, or rather the water vapor loop. We should certainly see some kind of circulation here. But what we're seeing over here is a very dry air mass, as indicated by this tan scale at the bottom. The tan is the far left, the driest of the dry. So there's obviously high pressure being put in place here. Now if we go over and look at the water vapor loop for the entire Northeast Pacific, we can see what's happening here. They've got a high pressure installed right here, and we can also see that there's some high pressure being built out right here in a semicircle right here. That is forming and being put in place. You see some clockwise movement right here. That's high pressure, falling air. We have this new flow coming out of the Aleutian Islands area, the far North Pacific, the Bering Sea area, down. And what this pressure will do right here is to block. It'll form a blockade so that this moisture flow rides over to the east and not down into the west coast. So we're seeing again the typical pattern. Now, this is that disturbance, which is now forecast to become a hurricane within a couple of days. We'll show you that in a minute. They're also hitting this area with some hot air. You see some clockwise movement developing there. They're hitting here. This is the remnants of, I think this is the remnants of Dolores. They've got this thing still surrounded to keep it from re-spinning up. If they turn the transmitter off of this, it would reform very quickly because of the water temperatures in the area. Okay, let's move on here. This is the color infrared loop, and we see some rain moving into Southern California. I hope we get some more rain. We had 9/16 of an inch of rain yesterday, which set a record in downtown Los Angeles. They had around, I think, just not quite a half. I think it was like 0.47 inches downtown. That set an all-time record for the month of July in all of the record keeping since 1885 or something like that. So it's good we got some rain. Let's go on here and look at the visible light mode, and we see some kind of a spinning low pressure here. This either is, Dolores has moved up here awfully quickly, I think. That's what we're looking at, is the remnants of Dolores. But over here on the water vapor loop, we don't see any of that, and we should. We should see some counterclockwise movement, if in fact that is the remnants of Dolores. There should be water vapor in this area right here, which we're not seeing there, but yet we're seeing it over here in the visible light mode and also in the infrared loop. Water vapor is what this is all about. That's why that's showing up green. That's got a lot of water vapor in it, and obviously down here there's a lot of water vapor, a lot of rain, because it's red. It's indicated red, which is intense rain. But yet back here off of California, we don't see any system right here. So either this is wrong, this map is wrong, or the other two maps are wrong. And we'll find out, because it is clouding up outside. Earlier it had cleared up. We had chemtrail stuff in the skies, aerosols being sprayed. That is cleared, or rather that has been clouded over. We've got a cloud cover, so we may get some more rain. Okay, here is the East Pacific close-up of what's happened here. All of this moisture from Dolores is slowly moving up into the United States southwest. Here we see a downburst from a transmitter occurring. We've got clockwise movement developing. We've got a transmitter hitting here. Okay, and this is that disturbance that is forecast to become a hurricane. And we'll take a look at that here in a second. Here is the infrared loop for the East Pacific, showing that counterclockwise rotation, which is not shown on the water vapor loop. Okay, now here is the visible light mode for that same satellite shot. Next, this is the eastern East Pacific. This is the disturbance we're taking a look at right now. And not much to report there, except that storms are organizing, and in about 2-3 days we'll see another tropical storm form out of that. See a downburst occurring right here. See a clockwise movement starting to develop there as a result of that hot air downburst. Alright, now right here, look at this anomaly right here. You see those ribs right there? That is probably a downburst occurring right here. They're destroying that thunderstorm right there with some high power RF right there. That is pretty good evidence. Let's go take a look at that in the yeah, we see it also in the rainbow loop right there. So they're hitting this disturbance. They're throttling it back. Now I'm going to take a second here and go take a look at the visible light mode real quick. I want to see what is actually happening here. Stay with me here, folks. We'll get this up and going here right now. Somewhere in here they were hitting Let's go back and get some reference points. Right, okay. Right about here is where they were hitting that one area. We can see that ribbing from the RF. I think they just refreshed this whole sequence, so we lost the last frame on that, but they are hitting that. Here we go. You can see it pretty good here. This area here, we'll see a hole in the next couple hours as this video sequence advances. So right here they're hitting that. Now let's go back to the visible light mode. We see some clearing right here. Anyhow, that's how they're doing it. So let's go to the National Hurricane Center map and take a look at what's happening here. We've got a 80% chance of hurricane in 48 hours. 48 hours. Okay. So that's basically it. Just a quick update. Don't know why this is showing up as counterclockwise on the rainbow and the and on the visible loop, but on the infrared loop, or rather the water vapor loop, this says infrared and this says water vapor, so I don't know why they got that mixed up. There's no counterclockwise circulation shown, so we'll keep an eye on all this, and we'll do another one of these later. Okay, that's it.